So we are discussing about bills of exchange. The first case is over, retaining of bills. Then we discuss the next set, that is discounting of bills. And now we are moving to the third one, that is endorsement of bill. Okay? The third set of transaction, the third case, that is endorsement. Endorsement of bill. Endorsement of bill. And again we have Mr. A, who is the seller, Mr. B, buyer. Now this cases, A has drawn a bill of rupees 2000, okay, and it is due on April 4th, due date. Due date is on April 4th, 2000. So on April 4th, A will be getting money from B. Correct? That is the case. Now we are going to discuss about endorsement of bill. Suppose there is Mr. C. Here we are going to meet a new person, Mr. C. Actually, this Mr. C, Mr. A has purchased goods from Mr. C on credit. Understood? Mr. A, the seller, purchased goods from C, another person from C, on credit. That means that A should pay to C, no? A should pay to C. Okay, so A should be making payment to C as A has purchased goods on credit from C. So now Mr. A, what he do is, he will transfer this bill, the bill drawn on Mr. B. This particular bill, Mr. A will transfer to C. So Mr. A is giving this bill which he will be receiving from Mr. B, the amount rupees 2000. The same bill Mr. A is giving it to C and saying him that, and he is telling him that, take this bill. On April 4th, you will get the payment of rupees 2000. Mr. A, he owes rupees 2000 to Mr. C. And B owes rupees 2000 to A. So, on April 4th, Mr. A will be getting 2000 from Mr. B, no? So, Mr. A is actually transferring this bill to C. And he is informing C that, C, I know that I owe you rupees 2000, you don't worry. Mr. B will be giving you 2000 on April 4th. Clear? So, on due date, Mr. C, who is having the bill now, will go to Mr. B and collect the money. The problem is solved. Clear? The case is clear? I repeat again. Mr. A and Mr. B. Mr. A has sold goods to Mr. B on credit. So what happens? Mr. B should be making payment to A. It is for that Mr. A has drawn a bill. And there is another person, Mr. C. A should make payment to C. So, Mr. A, he is transferring this particular bill to C. Anyway, A should be making payment to C. So, A will transfer the same bill to C and is telling C that, C, on April 4th, Mr. B will be giving you the payment. You can keep this bill with you. The Mr. B will be making payment to you on April 4th on my behalf. The money I should give you, that will be given by Mr. B. This is called endorsement of bill. Okay? Endorsement of bill. Now, this A is called the endorser. Endorser. And C becomes the endorsee. Okay? Here no kind of discounting is taking place. The full amount will be received by Mr. C. What is happening? Simply the bill is being transferred to C. Clear? So, for this particular case, how is the journal entry is passed? We are going to see the journal entry regarding this endorsement of bill both in the books of drawer as well as drawee. You can also write seller and buyer in bracket for you not to get confused. Okay. So, what is the first journal entry related to? First journal entry is related to? What is the first thing? Alan Shibu, what is that? Credit sales. Credit sales. In the books of drawer, it is credit sales. Write the entry, all of you. Write it. Credit sales. And in the books of drawee, it is credit purchase. Aman, what is the entry? Credit sales entry in the books of drawer?
When drawee account debtor to sales.
Drawee account debtor to sales. Very good. Drawee account debtor to sales. Yes, Rahul, credit purchase. What is the entry?
Purchase account debtor to drawer account.
Very good. Purchase account debit to drawer. Drawer account. Okay, done. Now, what is the next transaction? What is it, the case? Akshay, what is it related to?
Endorsement.
No.
Drawing of.
Drawing. First is we made the sales. Sales took place. Then the next thing is drawing of bill. Drawing of bill for drawer, and for drawer it is accepting the bill. Okay, what is the journal entry? Pranav, drawing of bill. Bills receivable. Bills receivable account debtor to drawee. Bills receivable account debtor to drawee, and accepting the bill in the books of drawee, it becomes Krishna.
Drawer account debtor to bills payable.
Draws account debtor to bills payable. Yes. Now the next one is endorsement of bill. The third case. That case is related to number 3. Endorsement. Endorsement of bill. Endorsement of bill the entry is endorsee account debtor to bills receivable. Bills receivable, you can write it as B bar R. This is the short form of bills receivables. Okay. And bills payable is B bar P. Bills receivable account. Who was this endorsee? Endorsee was actually the liability of the drawer. Correct? This drawer had to make payment to the endorsee. So actually it was his creditor. One who the drawer should make payment to. So it was his liability. Liability increase, you debit. Bills receivable is asset. Asset decrease, you credit. Remember dealer? D-E-A-L-E-R. Okay. Now, what is the entry in the drawee account? Thinking? Tell me, think and tell me. For drawee regarding the endorsement of bill, there is no entry. Why? Because that particular transaction is taking place between drawer and his endorsee. So, drawee has no role, nothing to do. Okay. Now, so endorsement is over. Fourth one is honor of bill. Honor of bill. Honor of bill. What happens in the honor of bill now?
Ma'am, is it
when it is the due date, that is when it is time for the bill payment, drawer is not receiving any amount, not receiving any payment, because that bill is transferred to endorsee. So he is the one who is getting the payment. Regarding the drawer, we don't have any entry. No entry. But for drawee, there is entry. Why? He should make the payment. He is the one making the payment to endorsee. Even if it is endorser or drawer or endorsee, drawee should make the payment. So, the journal entry is the same. Bills payable account, debit to cash or bank. Cash or bank account. Now, the fifth one, in case if the drawee is not making the payment, then it is the case of dishonor of bill. Dishonor of bill. Dishonor of bill. So what happens? The endorsee will come back to drawer. I didn't get the payment. Again, drawer should make payment to endorsee. Mr. C goes with a complaint. Mr. A, you told me that Mr. B will give the payment, but I didn't get it from Mr. B. So, again Mr. A should make the payment to C, no? Correct? So what happens? What is to be written in the books of drawer? For him, drawee account debtor to endorsee. Endorsee. Now, this drawer will take the bill to drawee and drawee should make the payment to drawer. So, the entry is for the in the books of drawee, the entry is bills payable account debtor to drawer account. Okay. Yeah. So now I request everybody to read the three cases and understand it correctly, peacefully. Read the three cases: retaining of bill, discounting of bill, endorsement of bill. Keep the video on and read it, please. Pavitra and Krishna, please keep your video on.